When I imagine Princess Peach, she is invariably kidnapped by Bowser, functioning only as a motif and not as a playable character in Nintendo's vast portfolio of games. Princess Peach Showtime is at the same time a well-deserved spin-off that gives the character some well-deserved prominence and a very fun game that surprised me. When Sparkle Theater is taken over by the villain Grape and her group of minions, the Sour Bunch, all the plays that were taking place are cancelled, and it is Peach who is tasked with the mission of helping the Little Thief, inhabitants of the theater and the surrounding areas, to free the different main characters of the different stages and plays, the Sparklers. The alliterations don't end here. We are helped by Stella, a flying companion who uses sparkle, star-shaped energy that works at the same time as extra life and currency, to access successive end-of-level bosses. The game takes us to free the 5 floors of the theater from the villain's yoke, each of them with 4 small themed levels that culminate most of the time with a mini-boss, and at the end of all of these we have access to the end-of-level boss, or floor if you prefer. If the mini-bosses are creative but not exceptional either in design or in the techniques used to deceive us, the final bosses are excellent examples of creativity and perhaps one of the aspects of the game that I like the most. They are not difficult once you understand how to defeat them, and it is always relatively simple to understand the mechanics used to eat them. Princess Peach Showtime doesn't stagnate because it's very difficult to stagnate when you play 8 different characters, from swordsmen to ninjas, thieves to detectives, pastry chefs to ice skaters, but we can also be a mermaid and my favorite, cowgirl. If, for example, being a pastry chef or a mermaid seems a bit out of place, the truth is that all the minigames are clearly different, even if some are more fun than others. Being a detective turned out to be surprisingly interesting, even considering the minimalist design of the levels, with moments where we actually investigate, something I can't say about other detective games. All the different characters repeat their interventions in the game in a more or less balanced way throughout the 35 levels, and there is also a minigame on each floor of the theater that lets us to embody one of the characters and try to achieve high scores in return of some prizes. There are 2 currencies in the game. I already mentioned sparkles, some little stars that work as a way to access the end of the level bosses, but also as extra lives, and the normal currency that is used to buy cosmetics for Peach and Stella. Quite honestly, I didn't find these cosmetics interesting, but it's a positive addition to the game. The thing about these coins is that they don't just go hand in hand. Even with the linear structure of the levels, I wasn't always able to find something that was spread out, and that's incredible, as it is quite difficult to hide something in a corridor. I tip my hat off to whoever designed these hiding places, as they are so well integrated into the environment that I often miss them to the slightest distraction. This doesn't just happen with the currency. There is a character that we also have to find in each mission who also received the same treatment. Thumbs up. Obviously, my daughter wanted to play Princess Peach Showtime with me, but it's still difficult for her to understand 2.5D, as it's neither conventional 3-dimensional nor side-scrolling in 2D, and she wasn't adapted to this mix, often losing her sense of perspective, something that isn't difficult for me, nor will it be for 99% of the players, but she's still learning. Perhaps for this reason, she quickly asked me to return to Mario vs Donkey Kong. Even considering that I seem to suffer from this problem more than most people I talk to, my first generation Switch already seems to give everything it has to run the latest games, and Princess Peach Showtime is no exception. I had some occasional frame drops, fortunately in areas that were of little interest. There were some levels that I had to repeat because my daughter couldn't beat them, but even trying to ignore that, it must have taken me about 8 hours to get through the entire game. After completing it, new game options appear and there is still value to extract from it. be it the minigames on each floor or finding all the sparkle that we miss in the first run. Princess Peach Showtime gives Peach the spotlight she deserves. A very fun set of minigames that perfectly explores the versatility not only of Peach, but also of the Nintendo characters who seem to be naturally able to play any role thrown at them. In another year that seems to be full of excellent games, it's natural that this one goes under the radar, but it's an excellent option for anyone who has a Switch. See you next time, guys. Bye!